All right, what's up here? Welcome back for another recap video. We can go over Friday's trades. Let's see what we finished up. Well, I already know what I finished up, but to show you guys, let's see how we finished. Pulling up the statistics for Friday. I can review Friday. So up about $1,500 after fees. Gross profit $1,537. So very great day. Very great day. Finished right under 3K on a short week, on a 4-day week, just shy of 3,000. And I had my largest winner on Friday, about a little less than $800, $787 from one trade. And I can go over that trade for you guys. And it would have been a much bigger winner if I would have held my core position just a little bit longer. It could have been a $2,000 or $3,000 winner. But you know, what's important is that I was there with really good size in the right area. I just didn't hold long enough. So you know, that's definitely a step in the right direction. And moving forward, I can work on being a little bit more comfortable holding that level of share size, just for slightly longer. Accuracy right around 50%, which it seems to be where my strategy is lying, right around 50% with a nice 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So my average loss was $17 and my average win was double my average loss, and that's how I make money in the market. 52% accurate, 50-50 accuracy right about, but with my average winner being much bigger than my average loser. Again, your statistics may be a little bit different. You know, some of you guys have a very high win rate, but a 1-to-1 risk reward, and that's completely fine as well. That just means that you profit off of being more accurate rather than having a larger winner than a larger loser, which is fine. And if you have, you know, it doesn't mean you're going to make any less money than having a higher risk reward. It just means that your profit is coming from being right versus your risk reward. So let's take a look here. Profit margin 54%. Average position cost 4.1K, $4,000 average position cost, which is great. Right around January, I think it was like 1,800, and then maybe so far in February it's been around 2,000. Well, I guess we can take a look, but this is like double my average position size, which is great. It means I'm moving in the right direction. For excluding today, in February, my average position size was about 2,000. So I pretty much doubled, a little bit more than doubled my position size for Friday, and it paid off. And it definitely shows that I'm moving in the right direction and increasing my share size. So that's all great to track. You guys should be tracking your statistics just to, you know, figure out, you know, areas where you can work on. You know, maybe you need to work on holding your winners a little bit longer. Maybe you need to work on cutting your losers a little faster. Maybe you need to work on your accuracy. Maybe you need to work on your average position cost. There's so many things that the statistics can tell you where you should be focusing your attention and your time for improvement. You can't just show up and trade every single day and not know what the heck happened the previous day or the previous month, or how you've been performing, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are. You need to be tracking your statistics. You need to, even if you're very serious about trading, you'll even track the specific setup. You'll even track every trade you take and log it as a specific setup, and then you'll be tracking the statistics of that specific setup. And that's how you'll know the exact trade, the exact setup where you perform best. And for that setup, you should be doing 10x the size. And for the setups that maybe you're not performing well on, or you're even red, you can cut those setups completely and never trade them again. Or you can trade them on smaller size because it has a smaller profit margin. So statistics are so important, and that is one of the main reasons how I've been consistently profitable. So if you're a beginner trader and you are not tracking your statistics, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're being very lazy. And if you're being lazy, you will not succeed as a trader ever. If you ever get lazy as a trader, you will lose your edge. You will lose your edge. You'll start losing money. And if you're lazy in the beginning of your learning curve, you'll never make money. You'll never make it. So you can't be lazy. You need to spend hours. I spent hours, countless hours from morning to night tracking my trades, logging every single trade, watching my film, looking at my statistics, analyzing absolutely everything. So if you're not doing that, you're not cut out. You're not cut out to be a trader. So, you need to give yourself the best possible chance for success. You need to be doing every single thing. If you're doing every single thing you can do to possibly be successful, your chances of being successful are very high. Very high. So it depends. It comes down to, how much work are you willing to put in. A lot of people say only 10% of people 5% of people who day trade make money. Well, that's because only 5% or 10% of the people who do anything are willing to put in the work to be successful at it. Most people are lazy. I'm just going to tell you that. Most people are lazy. They're going to show up and maybe trade an hour and then never look at a chart for the rest of the day. And they're going to show up the next day and trade for an hour and then never look at a chart again. And then they're going to wonder why they're never going to make money. And for those people, if you're not showing that you're going to be willing to put in the work, you're just going to waste my time as if you were asking for my advice and for, things to help you. I'm not just going to, give out my time like free candy for people who are not willing to put in the work. But if you're showing up in the Discord every single day, you're contributing to the conversation, you're giving call outs, you're sharing your ideas, you're collaborating, and you've been there for a while and been consistently doing it, I will more than happy share anything that I know or any questions that you have about trading. I'll be even willing to go on a video call or voice call and help you out. But you gotta show that you're willing to put in the work. You gotta show that you are an asset to the community and not a leech. So before I go on many tangents, let's get into the recap. The main stock that I traded we had AXTI. AXTI, which is a larger float. I was reviewing this one pre-market. I didn't think it would be good, but I said if we can break pre-market highs, it could look good. And we did break pre-market highs, and then I started to trade it a little bit light on volume to start, just to see if this is going to be the winner on the day. And then once I kind of felt that thrusting in the market on AXTI, I was like, all right, time to size up. And I sized up and did pretty well on it. You can show the orders if it does decide to load. Let's see. Sometimes Thinkorswim doesn't want to load this. Well, I guess it doesn't want to load, but we can go through the video, live video. We also had OCEA, but I was watching this at the open, didn't hold up. I was trying to catch a dip, but I cut my loss on it pretty quickly, and it was pretty much out of play for me. It did pop up after hours, but at this time I was at the gym, and I was already out of the orders. I'm actually over my max orders on the week. The max orders on the week is 1,900. If it's a short week, for a regular week, it's 1,950. For a short week, a 4-day week, it is 1,560. And I surpassed that 4-day limit. So, for me to keep trading, I could potentially risk getting a warning from my broker because I'm trading too much. So, just crazy. But it is a rule enforced by the SEC, not actually. It's set by the SEC, but it needs to be enforced by the broker. So there's really nothing the broker can do about it, but Thinkorswim does seem to be a little bit more lenient than other brokerages. Usually if you do it one time, they won't even give you a warning. It's if you consistently break that limit that they'll send you a warning. But then again, it's still a warning and you have to do it again, and then probably again, and then probably on the third time, they send you a warning saying that, all right, if you keep doing this, we're gonna charge you $2 for every entry and exit, or maybe $2 for a round trip, one of the two. And so I don't want to abuse my free orders on Thinkorswim. So I did. It was smart that I kind of walked away. I probably could have churned another 100 orders on this move, maybe for a couple $100. It doesn't seem like this move was all that great. I mean, it did do okay. Volume was great. We did have a lot of halt action. It was a little bit choppy in the consolidation. I wouldn't doubt that I could be profitable on this move, but I was just out of order. So I did leave some money on the table because of that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. That's the downside of those free brokerages, is those limited orders on the week. But that's okay. I think 390 orders is plenty. And then we had MNPR. This one was kind of like a grindy action. I didn't really trade it all that much. Nothing really much to go over on that one. So let's go quick now through the video and we'll see. I did take my biggest ever position size again. I don't know if I said that. I took my biggest position size of $30,000 on this stock. Just crazy. Just crazy. I couldn't even imagine taking a position of $30,000 even just a month ago. I was struggling to even take a $10,000 position. And now here I'm taking a $30,000 position. And the other day I was taking a $20,000 position. So once you feel like you're starting to get in the groove, start pushing the share size. Start pushing the share size. So here we had, what was this, AXTI, yeah. So I was trying to catch a pre-market breakout. I'm pretty much flat on the day so far. Let's see when I get in. Let's just make that full screen. All right. I didn't actually review this yet, so I don't know my exact trades yet. I will be reviewing the entire week over the weekend. So pretty much what I'd like to do is just watch every film over again and maybe even watch it a second time. That's the like number one way that I improved. So we got this really strong move from this breakout. Really strong move, volume increasing. I want to catch the next dip. I didn't capitalize on any of that push. I kind of wanted to let it prove itself. Tried to get a break before, but looks like I sold for break even. Trying to catch again. Looks like a small loss. So I need to be patient on the dip. I looks like I'm getting a little bit impatient. I'm getting in too high. So I'm down $130 right there. Down 130 already. Okay. Like this next candle opens, looking for a push back to the high. All right, I make some of that loss back. I'm trading 2,000 shares, so I think this is a okay position size. About a month ago, 2,000 shares on this is massive size, but now this is just kind of like my starter size. So far, really good. Boom, I need to be in right here. Let's see. Okay, I did get in there. Nice 4,000 shares. Wow, $16,000 position size. Wow, This is big ass size for me. Like a month ago, this is big ass size. And just to think I double it. So very nice trade there. Now I'm back in the green in the driver's seat. Take a dip again at 83 out at 86 and 87. Now I'm in the driver's seat of about $200 on the day. I love it because now I have a cushion on the day. And now I can feel like I'm a little bit more in control. And I can take a little bit more risk if I want to, because I'm risking now break even or small red on the day, versus if I was already $200 in the red, I don't want to be sizing up because it's already showing that I don't have a clear picture of what's going on. So if I don't have a clear picture of what's going on, I don't want to be sizing up. I want to be keeping that size small until I feel like I'm starting to get into a rhythm, and then go for it. And then if you're already small green on the day, you're risking break even or small red versus a max loss day. And that's how I'm able to mitigate a lot of those max loss red days. I'm not having $1,000 or $2,000 red day, even though I'm having a $1,000 to $2,000 green days. The reason that is because I don't size up until I'm already in the green. So if I do have a one bad trade or a series of bad trades, 3 small red trades or 3 average red trades, and I'm up 300 or 400 on the day, I'm risking, I go back to break even at best, or small green at best, and at worst, I'm only going down a few $100. And that's how I'm able to keep my losses small, my red days small, and in the long term, I can grow my account pretty steadily. Nice dip. So again, remember, I'm thinking like this is a very strong move off the low. You just had to move from 310 to 4, volume increasing. The chances of this flushing all the way back down to 350, 340 is low. It can happen, but the chances are low because we had this huge volume and we're at the open, strong move. There should be people, I'm thinking, there should be people wanting to get in on the next pullback for a continuation move. So I'm getting in off the low, trying to feel the low here, don't quite time it yet. Okay, is that it? Okay, and nope, we don't get that bounce back up, so I want to be out. It looks like I was a little bit too late, and I took a $100 loss when I didn't need to. So that's okay. I thought I had the low there. Now I'll get back in. No, looks like I didn't feel it there. Okay, is this it? And no, looks like we got that flash of red. I was out immediately on that flash of red. Now we dip down again. So I'm still break even on the day. I was up 200. Now I'm back to break even. Okay, just like I said, now I'm not in the red. Yeah, I'm not max loss red. I'm only small red, small green. Now I get back in 2,000 shares at 371. Adding again because I'm like, okay, this could be the bottom. We do have the bottoming tail. We're reclaiming the previous candle low. Okay, is this it? Okay, I'm in 4,000 shares. I add another 2,000. I'm getting aggressive here. I added another 2,000 there. I just didn't hold long enough. Let's watch this again. We dip down low. Okay, let's take my starter here. Let's take my starter. All right, is this the low? Is this the low? Okay, we start forming that bottoming tail, adding into confirmation. Adding again into confirmation. This is aggressive adding here. And then add it again. So if you see here, I'm in 8,000 shares. 8,000 shares at an average cost of $3.75. Right around $30,000 position size. My biggest position ever taken. And man, this thing rips. Man, this thing freaking rips. And I'm not in it. Let's see. And I take 2,000 off. I'm like, oh, we're not going. All right, I take half off. Okay, I took off again. Oh, we finally break through. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. I just missed that, and now it's just going. So, but I held that. I'm still holding at 2,000 position size all the way to the high. So I was comfortable doing that. But if I was holding that 8,000 share position, it would have been a $4,000 winner on a 50-cent move. A little bit less, maybe a little bit less than a 4,000. $3,000, $3,500 winner. Okay, that's in theory, yes, it would be 3,500, but. That's in theory. In reality, I likely would have been scaling out on this move. So my gains are probably about 2,000 on that trade if I scaled out. But great. It's great that I took that size. Great first step in the right direction. Now I have to if I can take it a little bit, that level of share size a little bit more, I should find myself being a little bit more comfortable holding that for another couple seconds. And seeing more, capturing more of this move than I would have. So, it's over time that I'm going to break into that comfort zone of trading that level of share size. I can't expect that overnight I'm going to be trading from 2,000 shares to 8,000 shares and being completely comfortable. It's just not realistic. But if I can slowly get comfortable, warm myself up, then here's a $2,000 trade right there. And I added another 500 or 600 on the day. That's almost a 3K green day. 3K green day on Friday. So it's really good. Let's see. We do have a couple scalps here. I do make back. A lot of these are small scalps in the range. This is a great dip too, but I was too skeptical. I was too skeptical here. I was like, all right, we got the bottom and tail. I should be holding this right now. I should be holding it, adding to high, but it's a little aggressive to be starting a position, adding this high. Okay. I got a little bit. I'm only trading 1,000 shares because I'm still a little bit skeptical. Then we finally start going, and then we have a massive exhaustion move. Very nice exhaustion move. Pushing. And I missed this last candle, man. I missed this last 50 cents of the move. I missed. And then I did scalp the range for another $500. I was able to scalp the range for a nice another $500, finishing the day up 1,000. At the high, I was up around 1,590, I think. So I gave back like $50 off the top, but that's nothing much. Yeah, scalped in this area. I was expecting that we could see a move back over for 4.4. Maybe I could add a little bit more profit, but we never really saw it. So that was it for me. We did get a nice wedge, but we never ripped. We never broke back out. We're just kind of making lower highs. We were making higher lows. That's why I kind of thought maybe we could rip up and squeeze out shorts that were trapped. That could be trapped here at 4.4, but we never got it, and it started to fade. But that was it on my day on Friday. Very great day. Even though it was a short week, I think I did pretty well. My P&L is looking pretty good for my cumulative P&L. It looks like I'm finally starting to turn it. Well, I turned a corner recently, and kind of been going a little bit parabolic. So, when I first started sideways for a while, I was profitable early in my career. Like maybe, let's say, I think I started studying maybe around early 2020 is when I started studying. I did take Tim Sykes' course though in 2015 for like a couple months. Blew up my account, so I guess you can count that as experience for a couple months. But then I studied from maybe April to October. So maybe that's another 5 months. So I'd say within 1 year, I was making money, which is not typical. I was making money, but it took me another 2 years to even start sizing up because of I had so much of an issue with confidence in sizing up. That was my issue. A lot of people are the opposite. Just even understanding how to trade takes them forever. But when they start sizing up, they can size up within a couple months, and they're up making now 1K, 2K a day. For me, it took me 2 or 3 years to even just develop the mindset and the comfort and the confidence to start making 1K a day. Usually it's not like that, but for me, that was just my biggest setback. Was my biggest holding back was my mindset, man. I was just a very negative person. I was a very negative person coming into trading. I was always thinking glass half empty. I was always, fear of what could happen, fear of the downside. Every trade I took, I was thinking about the fear of what could happen to the downside. I was not optimistic about the profits. So that's why I was gun shy. Every single day I was gun shy. Even though I was making money, I was going sideways, and I was like, man, I'm only making like $20 a day. This is nothing. I just want to give up, man. Like, this is so, like, I'm never going to make it. And had really tough times. I mean, in here, you see this blip. Let's see here. Let's just go to 2020. 2020 to 12. We'll go to 12/31. 2020. So 2020, maybe 2021. This day I remember this day like it was yesterday. So, I was making money. I was like, okay, $20 a day, doing good. $10 a day, doing good. This is a great start. I accumulated just under 1K. I'm like, all right, we're going for that 1K day. And then in 1 day, in 3 days, I lost everything that I made up until that point. So from October to April, that's like 8 or 10 months of profit wiped out in less than a week. On this day, I said I was quitting trading and never doing this again. I remember like it was yesterday. I was in Miami and I lost everything in just a week, all the progress I'd made, and I said, this is not for me. I need to stop. I don't want to start losing money in my own money. I don't want to blow up another account. I said, this is done. This is just not going to work out. For whatever reason, I remember walking on the beach, just so sad, man. So disappointed, so sad, just in a very tough time. And even though I wanted to quit, I even told myself I was going to quit and just find something else, or maybe real estate or something, or get some job and just, I don't know what my plan was. I couldn't help myself. The next day, I showed up. And the next day, I showed up again. And the next day, I showed up again. And the next day, I showed up again. And again, and again, and again, and again. Even though I said I was quit, the next day, I still showed up. I still showed up. Even though I didn't want to, even though I didn't want to show up, I showed up anyways. I don't know what was encouraging me to keep going, but I kept going, and after 4 months, I made it back, everything that I lost. In 4 months, I made everything back and started grinding higher and higher and higher. And then eventually, I found great communities, and, these people really helped me out. And before you know it, I started doing much better, and maybe starting to get my $100 day, first $100 day, $150 day, $200 day, $300 day. Then I quit my job. After my $300 day, I quit my job because I thought that was it. It was going to be over. Well, within 6 months, the market dried up and I stopped making money and I went broke. So I had to get a job working a cashier at Macy's because I was broke. So, I thought I already had my ticket out. I thought it was going to be great. I had my first $300 day. I went in and I told my boss, I'm done. This is my last day. I didn't even give a 2-week notice. And within 6 months, I was already back to working because I was broke. But you got to do what you got to do. I continued to trade in the mornings while working in the evenings and during the day. And I started doing much better. Started to have solid days. And just that was consistent for another. I was only making, my good days were only between $100 and $300, $100 and $400. That was kind of my average. And you can see the nominal P&L is my average profit, or my profit per day. So a lot back here in the early days, I was only making for a good 2 years, 2 years, I was making $20 a day, plus or minus $20 a day. I was not, because I didn't know what I was doing. Even though I was making money, I still didn't know what the hell I was doing. It felt like I was just buying and selling randomly. And a lot of times I was. And then maybe I got some traction, started making between plus or minus 300 a day. Okay. And I did that for another 2 years. And then just recently, boom, I just had a breakthrough. I was like, all right, I feel like I'm minimizing my risk. A lot of these red days are getting smaller and smaller. You guys can kind of see. And then I was like, I'm pretty confident. I haven't had a huge red day. I'm managing my risk well. And I start sizing up slowly. And I start having, my first 1K day. And then I have a 3K day. Then I have consistently 1K days. I did have one $500 red day, but I was able to bounce back from that. And just, keeping those red days small and those losses small, I was able to develop that confidence. And now, 1K day is starting to become the norm, and that is starting to get crazy. And I still feel like there's so much more upside. And who knows, 2 or 3 years from now, it could be, 1K day. I could be thinking back remember when I was making only $1,000 a day? Who knows what the future has in store for us, but it's looking really good. It's looking really bright. But for me to explain that, you guys can kind of get an idea of how long you need to be committed to this craft to be successful. Even if you look at my calendar, I did not miss one trading day since 2020. October 2020 is when I opened this account. But I traded every single day, even though I was making only $5, $1. I was literally spending 8 hours a day. Some days, 8 hours. The days I was working, I was only trading maybe 4 or 5 hours. But the days I wasn't working, I was looking at the market 8 hours. So I was spending 5 to 8 hours a day trading, and then another 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours studying after the market to only make $1.45. That's a kick to your ego, for sure. Not a lot of people are going to be able to stomach that, or to be able to be comfortable with that. To work, like study intently 8 hours, 10 hours a day and trade and only make $1.45, $5.20. Lose money on most of these days. $12, $14, $5. Like if you went to a job and they said, all right, you work for 8 hours or 10 hours, I'll give you $1.45, you would laugh at them. You wouldn't even give them the time of day. And here I was for a good year or 2 years working for 8 hours or 10 hours a day for $1.45. And a lot of these times I was losing money. I was working 8 to 10 hours and losing money. But the reason I kept going was because I had the vision. You got to have the vision of where you could be in the future, of what you want. You got to have a vision and keep that vision alive and believe in it, because you will get there. You will get there if you continually revisit your vision and believe that it is possible. And you can just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and eventually it will start to work out. You just can't give up. You just can't give up. But yeah, look at these days, like still small. And people laughed at me. I remember when I would go to work and like I had some friends, some coworkers that knew I was trading. They're like, "Oh, how much did you make today?" And I was like, "Only like $10." And they would like laugh at me because they're like, "Oh, you're so risk averse. You need to take more risk. We need to get you to take more risk." And they're like make fun of me, and like they were like throwing in big size into like crypto, and when crypto was hot, and like taking these massive positions they had no idea what the hell they were doing. They were just pretty much gambling. And they would make a lot of money and some days, and also they would lose a lot of money, and they were net red traders. They were not real traders. They didn't take it seriously, and they were like, they didn't understand what I was doing, and it's because that I had the long-term thinking and they had the short-term thinking that I was able to succeed and not try to make money quick. And they were trying to make money quick, and what happened was they blew up. They blew up their account. But because I was able to take long-term thinking, yeah, whatever. People made fun of me. People, thought that I was never going to make it with only making $4 a day, $5 a day, $20 a day. Now look at me, 3 years, 4 years later, now I'm making $1,000 a day. And that's what happens when you think long-term, believe in your vision, have a vision, and stick with it. That's what happens. If you think you're going to try to get rich quick doing this, you're going to end up like those other people that I just talked about. Blowing up accounts, losing lots of money, depression, never feeling that they'll never succeed at anything because, they don't have the discipline and the willpower to stick with something for long enough to be successful. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to go over that just so you guys can get an idea of what the journey what to expect on this journey, because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's going to be a lot of dark times, especially in the early days. It's going to be very dark. You're going to have a lot of days where you're just fucking in the dumps. So you're going to have to just get used to it, and you're going to have to learn to enjoy those dark times, because you're going to be looking back on those times and being like, man, I persevered. I persevered through those really tough times, and now I'm successful. Now I'm starting to get it. Now I'm starting to understand. Now I'm making money. I'm consistently profitable. And without those dark times, I would not be here. So you have to look at those dark times in the early days where you're struggling, and think of it like you're like a gladiator trying to fight like a massive monster, and you're just fucking just getting destroyed and destroyed and destroyed. But like you can just know in the end that you're going to be the last man standing. You will be the last man standing, and everyone else is going to give up. And you're going to be there for the glory. You have to feel that you're going to be there for the glory. So yeah, you have to learn to enjoy the struggles, because that's what I mean, just in general, like there's just a lot of tough times in general, even at being a trader or not being a trader. So learning to enjoy the struggle is part of being happy as well. So you're never going to be happy 100% all the time. It's just a fleeting emotion. And a lot of the times you're going to be very stressed, overwhelmed, even when you're failing. So you got to learn to enjoy getting knocked down and standing back up, and fighting for your vision, fighting for what you believe in. So, and what you want for yourself, your goals, your aspirations. So I don't want to talk too much. It's already getting a long recap, but I hope you guys got value out of this rant or this recap or my live video. Hopefully you guys can hit that thumbs up button for me on the way out. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Check out the links down in the description. You guys can join the Discord. I'd love to see you guys in the community, and I will see you guys next week. All right. Enjoy your weekend. Get some study time. Sleep well. Sleep is super important when it comes to trading. So make sure you catch up on your sleep. Study up on your film, and I'll see you guys on Monday. All right. Peace. Have a good weekend.